everyone and welcome to this new video for my channel, The Mental Traveler. I'm Carolera and today I'm going to be reviewing a biography called Matriarch, Queen Mary and the House of Windsor. It was written by Anne Edwards and it was published back in 1986. Oh, and before I begin, let me just say that this will be a video with spoilers, so if you don't know that much about Queen Mary and her family, beware. And also, if you're wondering where my usual bookshelves background is, well, I'm living abroad at the moment, so for a while you're gonna see me with this wall in the back, so yeah, anyways. I've been a royalist, an Anglophile, and a history lover for years, and so all of these led me to watch, when I was 18, a TV series called The Lost Prince, which deals about Queen Mary's youngest son, Prince Johnny, a boy who had epilepsy and who died very young. Anyways, The Lost Prince is the first time that I became aware of Queen Mary's existence. Miranda Richardson played her, and while she is not portrayed in the most favorable of lights, there was something that I instantly admired in this woman, and it drew me to her. I wanted to learn more about her and her husband George V, and the more I learned, the more they became one of my favorite royal marriages and monarchs. Anyways, moving on, after The Lost Prince, I've seen many adaptations about their eldest sons, Edward VIII and George VI, which meant that I was now seeing Queen Mary in her later years, and I still really liked her and I wished to learn more about her, but it wasn't until 2017 that I finally got a chance to read a biography about her, and there are not that many actually, unfortunately, out there, but I did find this one by Anne Edwards, and when I saw that this author had a lot of books about women that I really admire, I bought a lot of them and I was quite excited to read this one. Queen Mary of Teck is a grandmother to the current Queen of England, Elizabeth II. She was a consort of George V, a grandson of Queen Victoria, and the ruler of Great Britain during World War I. Queen Mary was also the mother of Edward VIII and George VI. Edward is best known as the king who gave up the crown for the woman he loved, an American divorcee, and so when he abdicated, his younger brother George VI became king. He is best known as the father of the present queen, the monarch who reigned during World War II, and the king who stammered. But anyways, in this book we really get a very clear idea of who Queen Mary was. It starts when she's in her early 20s during Queen Victoria's reign, and we follow her until her death at the age of 85, under the reign of her granddaughter Elizabeth II. And so through her we not only get to learn about all of these changes that England went through at the end of the 19th century and the start of the century, like the Victorian and Edwardian eras, World War I, the Roaring Twenties, the Great Depression, World War II, the 50s, and we get all of these by meeting Queen Mary as a daughter, a sister, a fiancée, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, but most of all, a queen. I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars review, and I highly recommend it to anyone who likes the British royal family and Queen Mary. I already knew some things about her character, and I did find them more developed in this book, which was nice. Now I have a clearer portrait in my mind of who this extraordinary woman was, and while she may have not been perfect in many aspects of her life, one thing that she did beautifully was being queen, and I highly admire her for that, because even though it may seem archaic nowadays to put duty before everything else, I think it requires a lot of gumption to do this, and I respect her for that. Anyways, this book was really well researched, but you do have to bear in mind that it was written in the 80s, so it may be a bit outdated, meaning that, for example, a lot of things that I do know are not addressed in the biography. For example, George VI having an affair with an Australian woman before he married his wife, the Queen Mother. Although I don't know if this was because the author chose not to present it in her work or because she didn't know about it. But yeah, one of the reasons I love this book so much and Queen Mary was because I realized that she lived through all of these periods in time that I really love. And she just serves as this powerful, strong link to all of these historical figures that I love, connecting Queen Victoria with her son, Edward VII, with George V, with the Kaiser, with Nicholas II, with Winston Churchill, with Edward VIII, George VI, Wallis Simpson, Queen Elizabeth II, Princess Margaret, and even Charles, the Prince of Wales. So I don't know, I just find it fascinating that she knew them all and that she was in a way related to them, that she lived through to see in a way the end of her world when World War I came about. This upheaval of social classes, and then the Russian Revolution, the abdication crisis as well. But I really also enjoyed that there were all of these nods tucked here and there throughout the book about things I love the British royal family for. Nods to Queen Victoria's beloved Indian servants, to Queen Mary's coronation in India during the British Raj, to her children's nurses, her love for jewelry and bringing back into the royal family all of these antiques. And then there's the fact that we really get a pretty clear idea of who Queen Mary was with her family. Before I thought that she had been a bit ashamed of her mother, but here we discover that the bond between them was stronger than I thought. Or also, I've never really been that attracted to learn more about Queen Alexandra, Queen Mary's mother-in-law, but the book deals a lot with this relationship, so that was cool to learn. And then there was the exploration of her distant relationship with her children and how that affected them in later life. So yeah, we really get to see in a way why their sons were the way they were, why they did certain things. And I really like this part at the start with the courtship between Queen Mary and George V and what their relationship was like with the Romanovs and the Kaiser. But yeah, my love for Queen Mary and for her marriage to Queen George V just grew the more I read. And then when you read this book, you see how proud she was of him and of being British, and just how beloved she was by the public. Finally, I find it so fitting that this biography has a word matriarch in its title, because that is basically what Queen Mary was. And I just find it amazing that the British royal family has such powerful women in it, determined to make it survive. Women like Victoria, Queen Mary, and Queen Elizabeth II. And thanks to this book, we see quite clearly why Queen Mary of Teck helped shape the monarchy and keep it from perishing on many occasions. But yes, anyways, thank you very much for watching my review of this book about Queen Mary. I think this is all I have to say at the moment about it. Let me know if you agreed or disagreed with anything I said in this video, if you liked it or not, because I would love to talk about this British woman with you. In the description box below you can find a link to the book's Goodreads page. And well, I'm Carrera, the mental traveler, and I wish you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Take care, and I'll be seeing you soon. Goodbye.